Alright, wonderful fuckers. Welcome back to practicing portraits, artwod portrait roadmap. Right, we're on the first step of drawing little beanie faces, getting acclimated to just creating simple shapes or forms and putting features on them that look relatively portrait or human-esque. That's my understanding of the first step of the artwod roadmap. Right, I'm making it a bit more difficult for myself by not only adding features onto those. Well, no, they already ask you to add features. Well, having those features have expressions, but also we're following a 50 the 50 can't even speak the 50 rep rule, which I've established for myself, which is do 50 reps. Have I gotten better? Do I understand things more? Yes, no. If yes, move on to the next step. If no, do another 50 reps. Right, it's honestly just an excuse for me to do at least 100 reps, because I know even after 50 reps I'd want to do another 50. But I think it's a good rule to keep in mind how many repetitions it should take to even get a little bit better. Right, and on top of that, you may notice that there's also what seems to be helmet-like designs over it, and that's exactly what it is. This is an opportunity for me to practice helmets as well. So yeah, and I'm numbering my reps. But yeah, join me, draw along, draw along, draw along, right? At this point, you just fucking draw along. Just join me, join me, join me. Let us draw together, right? Seriously though, draw along. Either practice your portraits, draw along, uh, practice any fundamental, right? Spatial reasoning, form, line, gesture. I guess for me, I would encourage spatial reasoning. I feel as if everybody can just can benefit from more spatial reasoning, and more than anything, let's enjoy the effort. I feel as if, again, I say this every fucking session, I could have put more effort in. I feel as if only every few sessions or so I'm like, wow, I really put a lot of effort in, right? Usually I'm putting around like a 7 out of 10 effort, like 70% of brain energy. I want to try to reach 80% now, 80, 90, right? So that being said, drawing is thinking. Let me think about what story I want to tell, because this was a pretty funny story. This guy's running away from this guy because he has a gun pointed at him, and that's because he killed this girl, right? And they all have helmets, which is nice, I guess. But let's see, and obviously this is a great way for me to practice different orientations as well. Um, what orientation have I not done yet? It feels as if I've done a lot of down looking, top, down, down, like looking, top down, bottom up, bottom up, top down, the other way, but still top down, bottom, bottom, top, bottom, top. Okay, so we've done a lot of top ones, so let's do a lot of bottoms. I myself pride in being a bottom, so let's see if I can translate it over to my artistic skills, right? But yeah, draw along. Okay, and I need to obviously try doing it from different perspectives as well. Okay, this is one that I've wanted to do, but I haven't been able to. Not because I don't want to, but just because I feel as if haven't been able to internalize the perspective. But now I'm thinking really hard, so it should work out just fine. There you go. See, again, like, this is super simple, right? This is super simple. So you can see this is the box, right? It's from the bottom. It's basically I guess you could call it a 1 point perspective box, right? Because it's like this, yeah, and it's all kind of going back. Maybe slightly 2 point, but that is the point. Great joke. Anyways, that was a bit better. I feel as if I'm getting better. And again, I like keeping the heads these sizes because I feel as if this is a great size to draw features on the heads, right? So it's going to be a good way to have me consistently maintain proportion as well. When I start doing figures and bodies and stuff, obviously I may have to it'll also be a good way to be like, okay, now the body needs to be x high, x high, or a certain amount of the length attached to it. But anyways, let's try drawing a helmet. And I've really liked medieval helmets, so let's think in terms of oh, I have an example. So I have a reference, and I just typed in space helmet, helmet design concept art. That's what I typed in on Google, went to images, and I found this one on DeviantArt. I just have the preview up, and it's basically somebody who has 3 helmet designs, and it's like one, and each one is like a different part in how it functions, right? And then all the way on the right, there's like 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then like the actual the orthographic view, the side profile, right? And the side profile is basically the flat plane. What I've been saying is like trying to think about it in terms of a flat plane, right? So I think that, and then the actual 3D view is it's just wrapping around. It's just the flat plane, and then it wraps around symmetrically on both ends. So that might be a great way to think about helmet design for the time being, right? So let me try that actually. So we got the center. This is a great way. Okay, let's be in extreme discomfort, right? Really think as hard as possible, and let's see if we have a if we have a win. And you might notice, like, I'm kind of partial to this little design language right now. Not for any particular reason, but I do think it looks pretty cool. Then again, we have to remember that this is looping around, right? So something like this. Something like this. Right, maybe it has little cutouts. I do like medieval designs as well. It's really nice, in my opinion, right? And then we can maybe have, again, this needs to follow the center. Something like that. Right, and what is that exactly? Well, it can be a little cutout, right? I feel as if just looking at that example is already teaching me a lot in terms of just, hey, we can right now forego like a really intentional design and just think like, okay, well, if we just have one, if we just think about this plane we have here, right? If we just think about this three-dimensional form as just one side, like this side, as a flat plane, like this, right? If we just think about that side as a flat plane, we put shapes around it. So I actually already talked about this last video, but I couldn't understand and how I actually wanted to apply it until I saw this example. So type in helmet, what the fuck was my query again? Helmet design concept art. Like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's like the 7th or 8th one, you're just gonna see 7th or 8th one, and then there's another one, like, which is basically the same thing. It's like you'll see just 3, 3, 3, and then like the side profile of that helmet design, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That's what's actually helping me, I feel, as if understand it right now, is I just need to think about one side as a flat plane, and then the rest will come accordingly. At least in terms of just thinking about, okay, now it's just about adding things onto that plane. Right, so now look, we've already got a relatively cohesive design, right? And again, like I have to think about the features as well, which isn't really necessary right now because that's where the mouth is going to be, right? And like, what do I want to do here? So we could have this. There you go, something like that. Again, I don't know why this pen is so light. It's actually fucking, dude, it's a huge piss off. Like, look at this. Seriously, what is going on? Can we have a normal pen, please? This is not the brush pen I signed up for. Okay, there you go. That's a bit better. I don't know what's up with the ink bleed or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the hell is up with that. Okay, and then let's see. Again, extreme discomfort, extreme discomfort. Yeah, there you go. That's a lot better. Right, and we can there you go, something like that maybe, because okay, it's not perfect, but it feels like already I've understood a decent amount more when it comes to what I want from these designs. And that means we could always have it here as well. See, I'm not in extreme discomfort anymore because I wasn't thinking about the box. So let's recalibrate. Think about the box, obviously with the contour in mind. Okay, now that is a lot of brain energy. There you go. That's the effort I want to put in. Fuck yeah, that hurts. Because now I'm thinking about the box and I'm thinking about the shape it's comprised of. Right? Okay, now this pen is back to normal, hopefully. See, because now my lines are shit. There you go. It's gonna help. Oh, see? Yeah, it's gonna help a lot with line confidence and building strong lines. Okay. See, that's not. Oh, fuck me. I caught it this time. Oh my god. Okay. But what do I want in the middle? I think in the middle we can have just. Let's see. I guess in the middle we can just have. Now see, this is another thing. It's all about aesthetics and shit, right? So what the fuck is aesthetic that could be in the middle? I already made it look awkward as it is with this little thing here. I'm well aware of that. But I think even something like this, right, where it's just, and then, okay, if we think about the perspective, comes down, and then what? Okay, we connect those two, and then what do we do? Well, I guess that can just be the helmet, right? I guess that can just be the helmet for the time being. Yeah, and this guy's kind of looking down at us, right? Kind of like that, you know, this sort of, ho ho ho, you're coming closer to me. Oh, I can't draw the fuck out of you without getting closer. Ho ho, then please come closer. That was my paltry attempt at trying to sound like Kono Dio de, right? Please forgive me. I am a JoJo fan, but I'm not the JoJo fan. I have a lot to learn before I'm ready to save anyone. There you go. He's like, Teme Kono Yaro Bakayaro. What is it, like the Gintama rap? Yarunara Imashkane Zura. Joy, got joy. That's funny. Anyways, I'm a weeb. It shouldn't be that much of a surprise. There you go. He's like staring down at us. Right, let's say he has a smirk. You know, he's like, this fucking little shite right here. Okay, now it just looks like he's eating. Okay, and then the ear is over here somewhere. So again, okay, extreme discomfort. I'm not in extreme discomfort anymore. Let's see. The box. You see, it's still so light. Like, what's going on here? But I guess it's fine. I managed to draw the helmet. Okay, let's see. Okay, they're good. Now I'm in extreme discomfort. Thinking about the box. It's like that. I think. Okay, cool. That definitely took a lot of effort. And I guess the armor looks decent. Obviously I'm gonna keep going. Let's see what number 34 has for us. Ohanaman's family. I'm just gonna keep milking that. Again, my friends seem to, not by my friend, I mean specifically my friend's girlfriend, who's also my friend. But I guess that distinction had to be made for some reason, but she really fucking likes that Stitch voice, especially when she's drunk or high. She's like, oh, Biggie, do it again. I'm like, oh, Ohanaman's family. She's like, oh, so it's pretty good. Right? I always say some retarded shit like, Ohana means give me $500, and she's just like, what the fuck? And then she punches me. But you know, female on male abuse is funny, so I also just end up laughing. It's not a, what is it? It's not a perfect family, but it's a good one. Yeah, still good, something like that, right? It's broken family. So, what is it? Fast and Furious. Anyways, fucking Jesus Christ, I'm just gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Fucking Jesus. Okay, now that guy's looking down at us, right? We should have somebody looking at him, and let's say she is being like, bro, why are you judging them? You're literally, you're in the same, okay, if he's looking down at us, right? And he's like, oh, please do come closer. If this is Dio, right? Let's say this is Blob Dio. Then we need Blob, well, Dio doesn't have a daughter as far as I'm aware. Again, I watched up to part 6, so that's that storyline, I guess you could say, without spoiling. You know, that entire storyline. I don't believe he ever had a daughter. I mean, he might have. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm sure Dio's very well known, but apart from Dio, I don't want to spoil anything, right? I know some cunts in the comments most likely will, so I encourage you not to be a cunt and spoil as well, but let me think, right? Ho ho ho! Let's say this is... Oh, I have to burp again. Okay, that was pathetic. It feels like there's a lot more in there than that one, but whatever. Let's say this is, who was Dio's right hand man? He didn't really have one. He just had people he used. I'm trying to think about part 3. If this is Dio, then we need Vanilla Ice. Sure. Let's say Vanilla Ice with Aizen's voice actor. Fucking amazing voice actor. Right. And also, was it Hage? Gintama Kagura's dad's voice actor? Yeah. I love his voice, bro. I love that Gintama just shits on every fucking epic voice that you know. Like, it literally shits on it. Every character that you ever have thought. Ever have thought. Amazing sentence. Any character that you've ever thought was like, wow, they sound so badass, just don't watch Gintama. Or actually do watch Gintama, because they'll shit all over that notion. Like Katsura being a complete fucking moron, bro, but he has Gaara's voice. It's just too funny. And then the music that comes on too, right? And then yo, love and peace. Anyways, I'm just going on a Gintama fucking tangent, but okay, let's just say Vanilla Ice is like, my guy, why are you being gay? And Idea was like, have you seen my abs? Have you seen the fact that they're specifically Jonathan's abs? Of course I'm gay. All right, I look in the mirror every day, goddammit. I spent 2.5 seasons staring at myself. It was more like a season and a half. But he was literally just staring at his fucking body, which was Jonathan's body. It's hilarious. But yeah, let's say Vanilla Ice is like, my lordo, why though? And he's like, shut the fuck up and go track them. Let's see. Okay, I'm obviously trying to think of the box. And I'm obviously trying to think about how I want this to be. Again, what's overlapping here? It wouldn't make sense for that to be overlapping. Yeah, because that changes the perspective. Okay, I got it. Oh, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. These are all mistakes. Okay. Perspective did change a decent amount, but at the same time, the intention and what I was going for was retained. So for that, I'm very happy. But this shouldn't have been as much. Because look, like... I see, that's how much that should have been. That's too thick. That's a much better... Not, never mind, being much thicker again. Another beautiful mistake done by yourself, or yours truly. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Fucking bro, I cannot keep these caps on straight. Much like my life. Right? Especially the... I don't know, I was gonna make a dumb joke. I don't know, I can't think of anything clever. Okay, anyways. Let's see. At least proportions relatively consistent all around. Could have been a bit bigger, but I say that to myself every day. Okay, what type of armor do I want? Well, I think I'm just gonna keep going back between like medieval sci-fi. I guess it's a nice way to train both sides of the equation. So with that being said, again, flat plane, but it's curving around. We could, keeping it centered. And then I'm just trying to think. Yep, keeping it centered, thinking about the... Because I really want to make everybody aware that it's all about the contours. Right? It really is all about the contours. What I mean by that is like, this is a spherical shape, right? So the contour, the form, essentially, yeah, like the spherical plane, right? Yeah, spherical plane, I don't know why I'm doing it like that, but that is something you always have to keep in mind when we're drawing, or in this case, form wrapping, right? So we could have something like that, and then we could have something... Well, we could keep it like that for now, and then let's say... We just want to... I really like... I know this might seem as if I'm just reusing the same shapes. And yeah, I am. I 100% am. I'm not going to shy away from that. Right, like I obviously have specific shapes that I gravitate towards. And I want to be very clear. I don't want to keep gravitating towards the same shapes. Like I want to be very clear that I do want to ideate with more unique shapes in mind. But right now, I think keeping it relatively simple is more beneficial to just ideating, right? Because complexity can come once the simplicity has become intuitive, right? Like think about it this way. Look, now I'm adding complexity, right? Like now we're adding little cutouts there. Instantly slightly more complex, sure. But that's not possible if I focus on complexity first, right? So again, we got a nice little thing going on here, right? This is the center, so I have to be very aware of the fact that it's the center, right? And again, I'm looking at the reference, trying to be like, is there anything interesting that I can take away from this? Right? Is there anything interesting that I can take away from this? Well, maybe something like this. Little hinge. And we all know I love my hinges. There you go. Right, maybe that can come in use later. Right, we'll just keep that there for now. Everything needs to have a purpose, obviously. Like that is a huge part of it, is that we do want to think about functionality, right? We do want to think about functionality. And I love this because, again, this is constantly training my perspective. Constantly training my perspective, right? Because if we just, again, wrap around this form, right? And then we do there you go, see? Boom, just like that. It's training my perspective. But again, like, what do we want from this? Before I even complete this, what do we want this shape to be? Well, we do want it to go over like so, right? And again, one day this pen will actually fucking cooperate with me. There you go. So now I can commit to closing that. And now I think that does look like it's relatively in perspective. Maybe not amazingly, but relatively. Right? And again, if we're thinking sci-fi, we do want hard edges. So I'm trying to think about the plane thing again here. So what could be done is perhaps something like and then let's see. And I want to do something like this, right? And we can start, let's see, we can add little circles here, right? Little cutout thingies. Something like that. And now it connects. See? So I'm trying to keep it simple. And I want to be, dude, also my head's like tilting while I'm doing that. You see, like that's another thing, is I don't want my, I want, and I would encourage people to, again, make things as difficult as possible for themselves. Like, we want to keep ourselves stable. We don't want to be, again, we don't want the drawing to manipulate us. The fact that this perspective is a bit difficult and my head's like tilting and I'm slowly zooming in, I don't want any of that. I want to be able to see it at any point. Like, while I'm ideating, I'm like, am I going like this? Like, no, we don't want that shit. I don't want that shit. And I would think that hopefully you wouldn't want to be too into that either, right? But okay, let's think about some more shapes we can add up here before I connect these, right? So, actually, wait, what could be done here? Oh, we could do something like that. There you go. Let's see. And then that one is coming in like so. There you go. Okay, so I'm getting perspective down, which is nice. Right? So that's the eye. It's a bit too high up, actually. So like this helmet is already a bit inaccurate because it's a bit too high up. So that's a wonderful mistake to make. And then we could just add little contours going above it. There you go. That's a design of sorts. Right? And, you know, maybe this hinge didn't really have much to do with anything yet, but if I do what? If I do what? If I, yeah, this eye was way too high up. Should have been a lot lower, because we have to think about this guy's looking down at us, right? So his eyes are here. Yeah, they're looking this way, but even then, it's inaccurate. It's gotten a lot better already, just from thinking about it in terms of, okay, we just have a flat plane on the side, and then we're just going to wrap it around symmetrically, which helps a lot. Helps a lot, I'll be honest, thinking about it that way. Why don't we just make another hinge here? Whatever. There you go. Let's see. I think this is okay for now. I think I've done what I can. Maybe there's a little bit more I could have done, right? Maybe if I look at the example, even something like this. See? Okay. So whatever. That's fine. Let's draw the features now, right? It's getting better. It's actually getting better. But it's always because drawing is thinking, and again, I'm just thinking out loud. No pun intended. But yeah, because drawing is thinking, how you think and what you think about is super important, right? So yeah, obviously I know spatial reasoning and thinking about the box and thinking about the grid and thinking about the shapes inside the box. But then when it comes to design, it's like, okay, how do you approach design? What's the ideation behind design, right? I'm fortunate that I chanced upon this image, which clearly showcased the process of here we have like the designs, right, of the same helmet design. And like here is the helmet with the front visor open, and then here's it to the side, and here it is like fully closed, right? And then here it is, like the side profile. And then I look at the side profile, I'm like, wait, the side profile is literally just the helmet, but like it's wrapping around, you know, it's just wrapping around that sphere, which is the helmet shape. And then I had the, thankfully I had the insight to be like, oh, that makes sense, because I was already thinking about it in terms of translating 2D onto 3D, right? But that knowledge isn't just privy to everybody. And that type of thinking isn't privy to everybody, because mine came purely from the coincidence, or not coincidence, but purely from the buildup of having the experience in design, like web design, to thinking about, hey, maybe I should think about it from a flat plane, to then looking at this specific image that I have opened up on my iPad, like on the side or whatever, right? To being like, oh, okay, I can make that connection now. So what I'm trying to say is this is why art is so difficult, because it's so much of it is just knowledge that is not lost to the ages or anything, but it's definitely not something that you can just have. Right? Now he's looking, yeah, he's like, Dio-sama, are you sure that they're worth your time? It's like, really, bro? Really? He's concerned. Vanilla Ice is concerned about poor Dio. Yeah, he's like, come on, bro. You literally have better things to do. Go back to your mirror. go back to staring at yourself. Fucking waste, man. Okay, see, think about the perspective, thinking about the perspective. I think the helmet is a bit off perspective as well. But again, it needs to be a nose that is perfectly... I think that's okay. And then he's like, He's like pouting his lip. He's like, you sure about this, bro? You really got a mirror right there. you sure about that? Okay, nose is off again. Nose is off again. So what is it about the nose that's off? Because if this is the perspective that I've established, then... See, this is the part where I'm going to be thinking really hard, and I'm going to try to explain while I'm thinking. Again, skills, right? Thinking, talking, thinking while talking, drawing about what I'm thinking while talking, and trying to explain it. But let's see. So if that's the nose right here, right, and I put it in the middle, and that looked okay from the top relatively, what about this looks wrong? Well, it should have maybe started from here and then come down like that. Yeah, I think that's the issue, is we don't need to be seeing this little side right here. It's a semi-sphere. It's a half a sphere. It's a half a sphere, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I made that mistake, so there's no point fretting about it. We can just feel good about it and move on. There you go. And that ear looks okay to me. Not perfect, actually. It could have been a bit better. But let's see, that's the contour. We're following that contour. And the beautiful thing about this, like, this doesn't really need to be perfect right now. We're just getting really acclimated to drawing facial features, or things that look like simple, really simple facial features onto really, really simple form. And I understand that for some of you, or for maybe many of you, I completely understand that maybe this isn't simple, right? But this is the simplest it's going to get, you know? The step beyond this is just going to be a simple circle, right? Or a simple sphere, and then you draw features on that. But this is why I'm trying to break it down. It's like, okay, well, what is this? I'll actually break it down right now. Let me just draw the 35th rep. Or like just number 35 at least. I don't know what's going on with this pen, bro. I'll have to figure it out. It's actually pissing me off considering I want my lines to be clean. I want to be able to practice them properly. Like, what is this? Like, technically I shouldn't be complaining because it's like, oh wow, my lines are so thin, but there's something about this pen. Like, why? This is a new pen. Why is the ink already so dry and dead? Right? There you go. That's a lot better. But then it's gonna go away again. I have a feeling it's gonna go away go away again. But if I'm gonna explain this simple, oh, there you go. I think it's actually back this time. If I'm going to explain this simple shape, it's basically, this is the front half, and then this is the bottom half, right? Same, again, just like a sphere. So 2 half-spheres, and then a quarter sphere, which is connecting them, right? Like, something like this. Yeah, it's a quarter sphere, so it's like, right? Something like that. But yeah, it's a quarter sphere connecting it. But that's basically this shape, this shape, this shape. And it's obviously more difficult when you do it from an angle like this, or an angle like this, or an angle like this. Like, the bottom angles are always more difficult when it's not specifically top down. Personally, for me, I know many artists, and many artists are really comfortable in this position. Many artists are. Like, this, anything that's just top down, or any variation of a top down angle, or like a side angle, we're all very comfortable in, because it doesn't require as much thinking. For some reason, the mind gravitates towards not as much thinking. But I think part of it is just we're more exposed to looking at things from top down, right? Like this desk, my feet, the chair, the table next to me, right? My bed, everything that is square-ish or whatever is usually on a lower plane than us. And houses are really the only thing that are larger buildings, things like that. Right, but everything, and even those, like, there's a lot of opportunities to look at something from top down, but there's very few lived opportunities or lived experiences that people have looking from bottom up, right? Like, how many of us know somebody so tall that we're looking at them from this angle, right? Like, because then we'd be like down here. Don't forget, like, we'd be down here if we're looking at somebody there, right? So this type of angle really only came as children to us, right? This type, unless we're sitting, right? If we're sitting, we're looking at somebody like this. But yeah, that's just my little, that's my layman's explanation of it. That's my gay man's explanation of it. I keep reusing the same joke I had for my 500 sub Q&A video, so if you're curious, check that out. Well, I never said I'd be creative or unique. I just said I'd be better than you. Anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. It's been half an hour already and I've only drawn 2, but I feel as if I'm genuinely getting a lot better at just thinking about how to design these things. Right, so I'm gonna rest my brain, yeah, and I already said that, what the fuck, and then I guess fucking continue onwards, Jesus Christ. All right, let's keep going. Let's chase that extreme discomfort. Was I in extreme discomfort? At points here I was, and at points here I was, but the goal for me is trying to retain that level of extreme discomfort at all points. So we're done with these. I think these two have their story. It's done, right? We're being judged by this prick, and he's like, you have better things to do than to judge this prick. I'm like, come on, go again. You have a mirror. Dio-sama, please. Please, Dio-sama. Anyways, what do we want? The thing is, beautiful thing about faces is that once you start adding expressions, there's personality. When you add personality, there's story. And then when you have story, you have context. So we can think, all I need to do, in empathetic quotes, right? All I need to do is think of the context, right? Ideation is difficult, but it's kind of like the whole word mapping thing, right? So let me just think about table. Okay, table. People having conversation. They're having coffee across each other on a table. Wonderful. There it is. You see, there's our context. They're just shooting the shit and having fun, right? So let's draw number 36 first. This is what I love, is like once the story's made, I can just think about the perspective and the scenery and just have them talk it out or just draw it out. But now I can already imagine these little floating heads sitting around a table, these two, and just having a fucking laugh, just having a laugh. And that's actually amazing, because again, I'm in the process now of training myself to see more than just features, or to see more than just form and structure. It's okay, the form and structure now has a purpose, which is they're laughing. It's laughing while having a conversation, And we as people are gravitate towards stories anyways, right? So let's see. Okay, so this is my box, right? He's kind of turning away because his friend is making him laugh so much. That was a mistake, but that's okay. He's turning away. He's like, Yamairo, please don't. And the other guy's like, bro, stop being gay. Just speak to me in English. I don't understand this shit. Little does he know, this man was really insulted by this statement. He's about to pull out his Glock. I started it with being like, haha, such a nice, fun little friendship, and now it's oh no, there's war. No, he's laughing. His expression will be very happy. Don't worry. I'm not gonna bastardize it to that extent, right? At least not unless I want to. So you can never trust me for my word. 100% reliable. Okay, so we did medieval sci-fi. We're gonna go back to medieval, right? So again, center line. And I think from what I can tell, medieval shapes really do have these curves. Like it's a curve and then a stop at a hard edge and another curve. Just from the couple that I've seen here and there, right? And I think there maybe also be something like, I have seen something like this, right? So we have something like that, goes around. There you go. Something like this. Again, am I in extreme discomfort? No, I could be in more. So let's recalibrate and be in more discomfort, right? That's something we can all choose to do. How can we be in more discomfort? Literally just think. Just think. Okay. And again, it's the 2D plane, right? So something like that. And it's closed off, and then we can do okay, because like translating 2D to 3D is difficult. So when I think about it, let me think. Something like this, right? If you're wondering where I'm getting these shapes from, like I'm just trying to think 2D. Like I'm trying to think this is a flat plane and what shapes are going to be with each other, right? Like what shapes make kind of look cool and makes more, look kind of interesting. Which is where I'm coming up with this, right? Again, I'm trying to follow the contour. This actually looks really mid. I'm well aware of that. This looks really bad. Right, but it's okay. Because, let's see. There you go. It's now jutting out. So it's covering the face. Again, I'm trying to think about the box while I'm doing this. I want to be very clear. I'm trying to think about the box and again, the form that it's relying on while I'm doing this. So again, if the same thing is happening there, it's coming around. So what's happening here exactly? So how does that translate over to the other side? Now this is where a lot of thinking is happening, right? Because it's like this. It's also circular. Oh, because it's circular, it's something like this. There you go. Oh wait, no, it should be further back. I think. This might not make as much sense, this right side over here. But, okay, if I brought that up that much, then this also needs to be brought up equally as much. Right? And then we can have... Okay, what are some other medieval shapes that we have, right? What are some other medieval shapes that we have? I'm trying to think really, really hard here in terms of just shape design, right? I guess for the time being, we can do the generic this shit, right? There you go, something like that. And then what do we want for the eyes? Okay, well, we know, I've just from the examples that I remember, I know that medieval eyes is literally just usually like this, right? They usually just had like a little slit. I can try making a bit more interesting by adding just like a little border around it. But again, we're trying to keep it simple, right? Okay. That should be good enough. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could maybe do something like this, because a lot of medieval shapes did have that as well, right? Little grill marks, right? This doesn't make sense. I'm well aware, and I feel as if this other side here, like it's not wrapping around the contour properly, which I'm glad. It's an amazing mistake to make. Again, like now that I've realized it's a mistake, I feel good about it, right? And now my brain's gonna recognize that, and it's gonna work on that. And I really did try to think as hard as I could, and I could do it again. Like I could, again, try to think about it again, right? Come like this, and then yeah, it should have come down here and then come around and then should have been here. But it's okay. I'll figure it out. Honestly, I don't even think I should see this part because it would stick out too much. So really, it probably should just been normal, just wrapping around. That's fucking with the perspective that it's going out so much. I think I've recognized that now, and I believe because I've recognized that, my brain will also correct that error, right? What else did medieval stuff have? They also had usually little bolts and stuff around the corners, right? And that's it. I think that's the design for this helmet so far. It's nothing incredible, but again, I'm just trying to get into the process, and I'll keep saying this, like I'm just trying to get into the process of thinking that one side of the face is just a flat plane in which graphic shapes can occur on, and then I'm just symmetrically transferring it over to the other side, wrapping around this form, right? So imagine that this is the shape, like this flat plane is just a canvas in which we can ideate shapes, whether those shapes are flat, right? If it's like this, where it's just kind of an aesthetic aesthetic imprint in terms of like a line that's going in a particular direction and or angle or whatever, multiple directions and angles, or if it's an addition, if it's a subtraction, if it's a combination, right? Like that's basically what I'm trying to think of. And if again, this example is perfect because I see on this fucking example here with that I'm referring to, which has changed the way I'm approaching this or reinforced the way I'm approaching this, is that their side profile thing is really, really detailed, right? But to get to that level of fidelity and to be able to see that level of fidelity in your mind, it takes starting simple. Because I don't know if this person did it from their mind or not, but my goal is to do it from my mind. Therefore, it requires 10 times more work, right? Let me see. Like, do you guys see this pen? It's actually pissing me off. Did you see this shit, bro? It's actually fucking annoying. Why is it so light? Like, I don't understand. I literally don't understand what's going on here. But I'll allow it because I actually have no choice. I just have to allow it. I have literally no choice. But let's see, I could even do, there you go, something like that, which just connects here. Right, there you go. That's my little medieval helmet for the time being. Right? It seems 4 is my limit. Or per hour now. I don't know why. I don't know how I'm doing less and less each time. Yesterday I did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I did like 6 and then 5, and now I'm doing 4 and 4. I don't know why I'm getting slower. I think honestly the speed isn't even the issue. It's just I'm thinking, right? And that's what matters. So again, let's get this nose down. I have heard that the nose is a great way to center it. So this has helped me think about the perspective. Ah, there you go. Now that's a good nose, I believe. So this guy is having a good old time, right? He's very happy. And I know his extremely serious mask doesn't make it so. But he's having a grand old time just shooting the shit and talking with his pal, I think this nose is still inaccurate. Jesus Christ, bro, what's happening? Was I doing better before? Right? Oh no, it just wasn't connected to the center line. There you go, that's better. I think that's my biggest issue. I'm not connecting it to the center line. Look at these. I somehow seem to have forgotten that it needs to connect to the center line and then follow the perspective. Right, so this actually should have been more like this. Yeah, see, there you go. But I'm still figuring it out, actually. Yeah, that nose is a bit fucked. But yeah, whatever, this guy's, let's just say he's all smiles. Wee. Okay, now it just looks like now he looks like Mr. Popo. Okay. Alright, and then we got the ear, which is right around here. And let's see. Okay, I'm in extreme discomfort while I'm thinking about the perspective in the box, and let's see where that goes. Okay, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it. See the fucking plane, see the angles. Okay, I think that's relatively decent. And then if we bring it all the way around, right? There you go. That's his other ear. I think it's a bit misplaced, but what are you gonna do? That's just the way the blob ear crumbles. Bruce Almighty. Anyways, let me rest my brain. I have nothing to say. Nothing of value to say at any point apparently. But let me rest my brain, and I encourage you to do the same. Okay, cool. So, having a nice conversation with his friend, right? I feel as if God damn it, every goddamn time. I feel as if yeah, that nose placement is fucking me right now. It's surprising actually how I seem to have forgotten how to make it work. But, well, I think I understand now, so it should be better. Should be a lot better actually. It's based on the center line. I wasn't getting that down before. Yeah, that's the main thing. I wasn't getting it down the center line. But it's funny. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you literally just forget. you something so simple like the nose placement, which I had the entire time for fucking 28 reps. I had it. 29 reps. I had it, and then I just forgot it. Right? It just happens. Just happens. But anyways, he's having a conversation. He's looking at him like that. He's like, they're on a table over here. I really wish I didn't have this. His lips look so fucking stupid. Now he literally looks like Mr. Popo's lips. I can't take him seriously, and his nose is fucked too. Okay, we'll make the next gal a gal, right? And she's looking at us because she's like, you're so cute. You're so derpy, right? So she's looking at us. Right, they're sitting at the same table. Okay, and obviously I wanted this to be a little bit more up. Okay. Let's see, we should be seeing this first. There you go. I tried to keep the perspective the entire time as much as I could. I feel as if I did a decent job. That's a bit inaccurate, but it's okay. There you go. Ooh, that's not bad. Okay. Yeah, she's like, you're so funny. And he's like, shut the fuck up. And she's like, what? Excuse me? He's like, pay for your own goddamn meal. I ain't no goddamn simp. And thus, the gender wars began. This moment, let it be known, this moment is what started it. She said, I want to work. He said no. And then she said, pay for my meal. And then he said no. So as you can see, the man is always at fault, which is why I gave him such thick lips for speaking such ill will, right? The thicker your lips, the more misogynistic you are. Let it be known. My lips are pretty thick, which is me outing myself apparently. But Stupid jokes aside, now we're doing sci-fi, right? So sci-fi has a lot of things that can be done, but what should be done is unknown. Let me just start with this. I'm looking at the example because the example I have is sci-fi, so it actually is a pretty good. It's fucking actually really good for helping me understand what works and what doesn't. That's where the eye is. Right. And then we can just... There you go. And now that we have that, we can... Let's see... It's actually pretty crazy how well this works when it comes to form wrapping. Right. There you go. Something like that. See? And now we can just maybe add an ellipse that has a cutout. And let's see, we can obviously, that will be coming around the other side of the face as well, which we don't see because it's coming like so. There you go. That was a bit off. There you go. That's better. Dude, it's insane. This reference is helping so much in terms of just how I can think about ideation, right? And then even so, even something like let's see. There you go, something like that, right? Little cutout there, which can... See, lead to that. Oh, does this pen want to be cooperative now, you piece of shit? Fucking cunt. I love you, Pentel. Please sponsor. please sponsor. Well, clearly at this point, it's obvious that you must donate to my Patreon for me to ever make a living out of art, and that is the truth. Okay, so that's connecting that way. What else? What else can be done? Okay, I think I'm gonna do something like this. Again, yes, I'm using the same shapes, but let me try doing something different. Trying to think about that contour as well as I can. This is great training for my lines to be even thinner. Right, there you go. And again, I guess hopefully if my lines would cooperate, I can make this a bit thicker. It's not bad. And then same thing on the other side, right? There you go. See? Oh, that already looks so much more sci-fi. That's not bad. And then I can just add a little vent here. Something like that, right? There you go. That looks relatively sci-fi-ish, right? If we want to, I'm going to add a little outline for the eye area, right? Big shapes, definitely the key. And just kind of wrapping around the shape in of itself. right? There's a lot more that could be done. Clearly, I think I'm getting more of an affinity towards sci-fi than, well, I have done a lot of hard surface practice, so it's not really that out of the ordinary that I'd be able to come up with more hard surface shapes. But again, if I were to think about this in terms of, there you go, let me just, I don't know if that was necessary, but I'm gonna leave that, right? We're gonna add the features now, and I guess that's the end of the practice episode, right? I'm a series kind of guy, right? We'll do episodes here, but I feel like there's progression from the designs I was doing here. Yeah, definitely from this to this, right? This to this, even it's okay. I think that was a bit better. This one's okay too. Obviously, I need to look at a lot more medieval and hard surface designs, but I think what I'm going to do is genuinely just practice drawing. Like maybe okay, one day will be medieval, another day will be sci-fi, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth, just keep designing or I think the main thing is copy with just one sci-fi helmet like one day, and then just try to draw that in as many angles, right? Try to really understand the shapes that are being drawn, not just doing it mindlessly, and the next day do medieval. And if I do that every day and at least draw 3 to 4 per day, right? That is extreme progress, because in a year I'll be able to create something really, really cool. In a year from now I'll still be doing portraits anyways, so it's not as if anything's changing on that front. Okay, so that's the center line. So I actually did it by the center line. I'm glad I actually did keep that in mind, which I'm proud of myself for. So now I just need to figure out the nose, which is like that. Yeah. Oh, finally got the nose right. There you go. And then she's just like, ah, you're so funny. In reality, she's filing a sexual harassment claim against him as he speaks, or as he eats. Is he eating? Is that his lips? Is he smiling? Who fucking knows? But let's just say for now, the time being, she is like, I'm so happy. And he's like, I cannot wait to make you unhappy. Hashtag modern relationships. Okay, anyways. Okay, think about the perspective. Really think about the perspective. I do feel as if I tried a lot more this time, which I'm happy about. I really did try to keep everything in mind. So yeah, consistency and progress and trying is really all we can do, right? Let's see. Nope, that is completely inaccurate. Oh, well, I fucked that ear up completely. Yeah, I completely fucked it up. It's okay. It's just I unconfident lines drew them a bit too fast, right? But it's fine. It's cool. I'm okay with it. This has been a great session. Today's practice was pretty helpful. And, I'm just going to keep trying to make things more and more, not complicated, but just more intentionally designed, right? I feel as if the word complicated makes things more complicated. No, don't think, yeah, it's true. Trying to make things more complicated is just going to be too many things to think about, right? But starting simple, this is pretty simple, right? This is like generally just thinking about the shapes, right? And I think this is a good system I have now, because see, like this shit, the expressions don't get in the way, and that way it still sticks out, right? So that's good. Like I can draw on the other half, the other side of the page. Jesus Christ, clearly my mind is tired from all the thinking I did, but has it been an hour? Well, it's been fucking 59 minutes, bro. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm done drawing. I'm good with this. I feel as if I genuinely put a good amount of effort in, right? I'm really proud of these. Obviously, I think the perspectives could have been different. Like these two are a bit too similar, but we have an entire bottom row to do, right? So it's not a big deal. It's completely fine. But so I end up drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is also 6. This okay. So it's 6. I do 6 per thing. But that I didn't even mean to. I wasn't even doing that intentionally. But that means my proportions are clearly getting better, because I can consistently, and they all look relatively the same size, which is good. So yeah, proportions are getting good as well, right? But yeah, I'm just trying to think in terms of, I guess let me just explain what next steps are. It's obviously just to continue this. Practice more helmet designs, right? Like from reference, and then try rotating them, because rotating them will let me internalize actually what I'm drawing, right? Obviously, I'll try to focus on what I'm drawing while I'm drawing it, but at the end of the day, if I can at least rotate one helmet shape at least twice a day, right? So like whether it's medieval on one day or sci-fi on another, if I can just draw it, understand it, and then rotate it twice, I feel as if that's progress. Because every single day I'm going to be doing this anyways, right? This will probably definitely go for at least 100 reps. I don't see it stopping at 50. We're at 36, and I don't even feel as if I'm near understanding or bettering my ideation, right? So yeah, we're just gonna keep going. This is a great practice. I feel as if this is definitely getting me a lot more comfortable with just drawing heads and thinking about features in general in space. So great practice in that sense, right? And is it already been an hour? Yes, I've bullshitted my way over the past minute and a half. Yeah. With that being said, again, I hope you really tried. Again, I really hope you tried. I tried my best. I did my best to ideate. I hope you really just used your brain as much as you could, tried to apply your hands with your brain as much as you could, thought as much as you could, put as much effort as you could, and enjoyed that effort and the mistakes that you made. I fucking love all the mistakes I made here. I fucking chef's kiss, chef's kiss. But but yeah. With that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money.